You're about to enter the Reb Zone Sports Show on Fox 5.
The Slam Man makes an appearance in Southern Utah. Next in the Reb Zone, UNLV gets production on both ends of the floor in a win against Southern Utah. Head coach Dave Rice is in studio to break it down and look ahead. Plus, the UNLV football team begins preparations for their first bowl game since 2000. Find out the players' thoughts on heading to Dallas to play North Texas on New Year's Day. Are you ready to run? The Reb Zone won't deliver a snow job. We're heating things up right now.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You are now entering the Reb Zone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Good evening and welcome inside the Reb Zone as we take you inside everything UNLV sports. Kevin Bollinger alongside Running Rebels head coach Dave Rice. And yesterday's game, coach, was certainly what the doctor ordered coming off that disappointing loss at Arizona last weekend.
Well, we played it well at Arizona. Had a chance to win against the number one team in the country in their home floor, but took a lot of confidence out of that. We were disappointed with the result. Terrific week of practice, final exams, got through those. Everyone did well, and took about 2,000 Running Rebel fans with us up to Cedar City. It was loud in the building, and we played well. Played well on both ends of the floor.
Well, let's start looking at this one a little bit closer as the Running Rebels enjoyed that short trip up north to Southern Utah.
Let's go, y'all. Straight from the beginning, man. They gonna come out here and play hard as hell. We gotta play even harder, man.
A short day trip to the snow for the Running Rebels, and the UNLV fans came along with them to create a home-like atmosphere at the Centrum Arena. Kem Birch tried to establish dominance inside early with this rejection. He had 5 blocks in the game. Kevin Olekebe got the scoring started with this 3-ball from the corner. Then Birch gets the feed and the two-handed stuff, but it was a sluggish offensive start as the Rebs scored only 5 points in the first 5 minutes. The pace started picking up about the 10-minute mark. Bryce DeJean Jones with the steal, and he heads the other way for the flush. Roscoe Smith gets in on the dunk fest as he gets it down low and throws it down. UNLV built an 11-point lead on this jumper by Kendall Smith. They worked to stretch it out, BDJ with the lay-in, then the turnover and transition as the Running Rebels get good ball movement on the other end before finding Olekebe for another 3. Chris Wood capped things off with this triple as UNLV went into the locker room with a 38-23 lead.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Running Rebels picked things right back up in the second half. Watch the nice feed to Jelon Kendrick for the bucket. Roscoe Smith gets the ball down low for the hoop and the harm, and Kendrick knocks down a 3 as the lead opened up to 18. The coaches said that they wanted to push the ball more, and that's exactly what BDJ did here, going the length of the floor for the lay-in. The defense ramped up as well. DeVille Smith with the steal, and watch the body positioning as he finger rolls it in. Roscoe Smith, of course, we know he likes to clean up on the offensive end, and he does just that with this follow slam. Wood shows that he's going to be a block threat inside as he gets the rejection not once, but twice, as Southern Utah had no luck going inside. Wood also has range on the offensive end. This jumper, part of his 9 points in just 18 minutes. UNLV gets another game with balanced scoring, goes to the free throw line 37 times, and cruises to a 73-51 win. Let's start looking at this in terms of the bench production. 28 points coming off the bench and some key minutes, especially, by some of those players when you got into some foul trouble in the first half.
Yeah, and young guys. You think about Christian Wood, who's a freshman, and played Demetrius Moran a few minutes as well. Kendall Smith is starting for us as the point guard as a freshman. We have young guys who are playing, who are getting an opportunity, and certainly as we get closer to conference play, it's going to be very important for us to have depth, and we felt like that's the case all along. It just takes a little bit of game experience for those guys.
Does it give you a little more comfort level as you're seeing these players progress before you get into the conference season, that you can count on them to give you 4 or 5 minute spells in there?
I think there's no doubt. I mean, we've got upperclassmen who count on very heavily, but at the same time, we need our bench. We need depth, and for those guys to get game experience, it's a huge thing for us moving forward.
One thing we've talked about a little bit throughout the season is ball movement and how important that is to the offense. We saw that, the Running Rebels did that really well last night. Is that something that you stress a lot in practice?
There's no doubt, and this is our third year as a staff, and our first 2 years we were in the top 10 in the country in assists, and that's how we want to play. We want to play fast, we want to push the ball, we want to make extra passes, and I thought one of the keys in the first half was our guards had 7 assists and only 1 turnover. Huge deal for us moving forward in terms of ball movement, taking care of the ball, and then getting quality shots.
And defensively, 11 steals against Southern Utah, started the transition, and that is exactly what you guys want to do in terms of starting to run and pick the pace up a little more. It starts on the defensive end.
Well, our assistant coaches, Coach Schroyer, Coach Augman, Coach Simon, did a terrific job of teaching our guys defensive concepts. And with as many new faces we have, it takes a little bit of time to understand that. But our field goal percentage defense numbers are good. We're not putting teams at the free throw line, and we feel like we can get stops, we can get out and run, and we're at our best when we're in transition.
The pressure defense stuff that we talked about that you wanted to do coming into the season obviously has had to be scaled back because of the new rules and the fouls. And I wouldn't say that's been done consistently in all of college basketball yet. Will we see over these next 5 games before the conference season starts you utilizing that a little bit more to get a feel of what you can and can't do as you go into the conference?
I think some of the injuries to start the season had an impact on that. Some of the uncertainty at the point guard spot, and our point guards are starting to play extremely well right now. Very happy with Kendall Smith. DeVille Smith had a terrific week of practice for us and played 19 minutes yesterday and played extremely well. Daquan Cook is a guy we can count on. And so I think that certainly you'll see a little bit more pressing, certainly after free throws and dead balls and so forth. We need to try to push the tempo. Again, we're at our best when we're playing fast, but very, very happy with our half-court defense. It's coming along very, very nicely.
Finals week is always a tricky week to prepare because the players have tests and there's weird schedules for them going on. Now that you have them just concentrating on basketball here during the winter break, how much stuff changes, or is it just taking what you have and building in the practice over at Mendenhall?
Well, we talk about majoring in basketball during the winter break, and we got through finals. Guys did a good job. Congratulations to Carlos Lopez Sosa, who's now a UNLV graduate. He'll go through commencement exercises on Tuesday night and then play a game on Wednesday, and so it's great for us that we're graduating our guys. Guys are doing well academically. Our APR, which is the way the NCAA judges academic progress rates, excellent, so we're proud of that part. But now it's basketball. It's practice. It's getting ready. It's 5 games into a conference play starts, and a very challenging game this week against Radford on Wednesday.
Well, after the game last night against Southern Utah, the players talked about getting into a rhythm and building some momentum as they move closer to the start of the conference season.
When our team is flowing, I think everybody gets to flowing, and and I think that's just one of the deals that we had today. Everybody was flowing and had a little swagger to their game, and I think it just transferred throughout everybody, and everybody had a pretty good game.
Having a week off, and it was tough. Tough for the new guys, especially the younger guys, trying to get in the rhythm. When you get in the rhythm, like you kind of lose your bounce a little bit, having that week off. So this game, definitely put us on a great level of confidence. Then especially coming next week, we start actually playing back-to-back games.
It's a great opportunity for everybody, not just me coming off the bench, but just everybody like Daquan, DeVille, Kendall, and just every day we're just getting better. So if we just keep playing how we playing, I think we get this win streak started.
It feels really good to come out here, execute on both sides very well, and to come out with a win over 20 points. It feels great.
Bryce DeJean-Jones did not start for the second game in a row. We know the game in Arizona, he was late for a team meeting. Why didn't he start yesterday?
A couple of reasons. Had nothing to do with breaking any kind of team rule. I just hold Bryce to a high standard. He's been in our program for 3 years. He's a terrific player. I think he's an X factor for us moving forward. I think he has the potential to be one of the best perimeter players, both on the defensive and the offensive ends in our league. I want him to really step up and become a great leader for our team. And so it's just one of those things. It was a decision I made, and I have high hopes, high expectations for him. I think he's going to be a big part of our program moving forward.
How tough is it for a coach to decide which players need a hug and which players need a kick in the butt to try and get them jump started?
I think it's a feel. I think it's a part of getting to know personnel, and I think that's one of the things is you start a program, and certainly with this year, with as many new faces, figuring out what motivates different guys in combinations and the rotations, and then you throw in some of the injuries that we had early on and trying to establish those things. We got a great group, though. I've said many times we have a chance to have a special season this year. Number one, because we have good players, but we also have a group that's cohesive, that likes each other on the court, off the court. You feel it. You feel it in practice. You feel it in the locker room. You feel it on the team bus as you travel. And I like this group a lot. We know we have a long way to go, but we're fixing a lot of the things needed to be fixed, and a lot of positives moving forward.
Talk a little bit about Chris Wood and his progression. Comes in, had the injury that kind of slowed it up coming into the season, but we're starting to see significant minutes and significant production out of him.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious to see how special a runner rebel he's going to be for years to come. Last 3 games, he's played 14 minutes, and 18 minutes, and I think yesterday at Southern Utah was 9 points and 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 18 minutes of action. He's a stretch 4-man, can play some 5, really adds a dimension to us. So he's going to be a special player. He's about 6'10", with a 7'3" wingspan, and coachable. He's going to be a terrific player for us. We're excited about him, along with some of the other freshmen in our program.
And an interchangeable part if Kem, Birch, or Roscoe Smith get into any type of foul trouble or need a rest, you have a very serviceable big man that can come in, and you're not really going to lose a ton for small stretches.
No, he's doing a great job. And the one thing that about both Christian Wood and Kendall Smith is they both turned 18 during fall semester, so they're not only freshmen, but they're young freshmen, and so the future is extremely bright in our program with guys like Kendall Smith and Christian Wood, and I'll throw Demetrius Morant in there as well, who's another freshman for us.
Jamal Aites decides to transfer. How did that transpire in the days and weeks leading up to that decision?
He was a late addition to our team. He joined us in the summertime. We were in a situation where we had a scholarship. We liked what we saw, and I think as Jamal and I talked throughout the course of the semester, he just was looking for an opportunity where minutes were probably going to be a little bit more guaranteed moving forward. Terrific kid, added to our team, helped us in practice, wish him the best, terrific family, and just one of those things. It's part of college basketball. I think in the last 2 years there have been 900 guys transfer in Division I schools, 500 last year. It's just part of what happened, but we wish him the best. He helped us become a better team, and we move forward. We're confident with the group we have.
It's hard when you recruit as successfully as UNLV had and bringing in lots of big-time players who all expect and want minutes, but the competition for the minutes is there. I would assume that's one of the downfalls when you stack a team with good recruits, that there's always going to be some guys that maybe don't get as many minutes as they think they should be.
And it's one of those deals where it's tricky. It's a situation. We've now got Good Luck Okanobo and Dwayne Morgan, who are also very good players. We've got Kim Birch, who's a junior, Roscoe Smith's a junior, Christian Wood's a freshman, Demetrius Morant's a freshman. We're excited about those guys. We're excited about our depth. We think that's a positive moving forward. But you're absolutely right. Guys want to play minutes. They want to play right away. And I think that's where competition is good. We're excited about our group. But it's all part of what we're trying to manage. And that's one of the things in recruiting. You have to try to anticipate what guys may leave early, what guys may be around. And it's all part of the process. But the future is extremely bright. We're excited about this season as we move to conference play. We think we can have a special group this year. But we really feel like the way recruiting has gone and the development of our young guys, that we have a program that in the next year or two is going to be an elite program here in the country.
Well, we're just getting started here inside the Reb Zone. The Running Rebels will be back home for a Wednesday night game against Radford in the first round of the Continental Tire Classic. That tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. Up next, though, I sit down with Mountain West Commissioner Craig Thompson. We talk a little basketball and find out his thoughts on the conference tournament being played in Las Vegas and whether it will stay that way in the future. We're back in 2 minutes.
This Raising the Bar moment is brought to you by Born and Raised, the official home of Rebels on the Road.
Saturday at Southern Utah, Bryce DeJean-Jones gets the steal and goes the other way for a two-handed slam to ignite a Rebel run. Watch the anticipation as BDJ sees the pass coming and just keeps on going to deliver this week's Raising the Bar moment. A few weeks ago, I had the chance to sit down for a one-on-one conversation with Mountain West Commissioner Craig Thompson. When talk turned to basketball, the focus was on the future of the conference tournament right here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas and postseason play, there's always the bickering from some of the other schools, and it always seems to be swirling. Where's Las Vegas positioned in terms of postseason basketball play for the Mountain West?
Well, we have another couple years on the contract with Thomas and Mack to play in UNLV's home arena. And certainly there is talk about a new facility. It's probably more than talk, it's going to happen. What that means, of course, we play on the same weekend as the Pac-12, and you can't have two tournaments in the same building over the same day. So You know, it's something that we would have to address. We have not at this point, but Las Vegas has really been a home and been so successful for the Mountain West Championship. It's a huge financial asset for us. It's a great destination spot. We've sold out the semifinals and finals for several years in a row now. I mean, it's the place to be. Now, the venue is a conversation that we could have down the road.
The new arena being built by MGM Resorts International there, will the Mountain West get first rights of refusal on that, or will the Pac-12, since they already play their tournament at an MGM property?
That's a great question. I don't have the exact answer. I would presume that the Pac-12 has a little leg up because they're affiliated contractually with them now.
And if they do go to the new arena, would the Mountain West consider going to the Grand Garden Arena where the Pac-12 showed that it can be successful there as well? Or because it's smaller, you would rather be at the larger venue and sell out Thomas?
That's the issue. If we go to a facility less than the 18,000 seat Thomas and Mack, we have a chance to lose about $1 million on the Friday, Saturday semifinal finals. We need the seats. We've been gangbusters in attendance, and our fans, we couldn't survive in a 10 to 12,000 seat arena.
So we've always heard the complaints about the tournament being here, and outside the benefits of staying at home, the rims are different, the floor's different, and quite honestly, UNLV hasn't had a whole lot of success in terms of winning the tournament. But are there benefits for you guys to be able to stay at home that week?
It cuts both ways, and I've always been consistent. I think I'm the one person in the league who's been at UNLV and then also was at BYU, so I've been on both sides of it. So I understand the arguments about having it on UNLV's home floor. At the same time, I've always been very consistent, whether it was at UNLV or at BYU. It needs to be in Las Vegas. We tried it somewhere else. It's just not the same. It needs to be in the city of Las Vegas. Not my decision. It's a decision presidents and athletic directors and certainly Commissioner Thompson make. And so we're happy where it is. We're happy it's in Las Vegas, and we look forward to having it here for a long time to come.
We look forward to that as well. And we're going to switch gears in the Reb Zone. Coming up, we're going to look at the bowl-bound UNLV football team. Hear from the players about the trip to Dallas for the New Year's Day game against North Texas. That's next if you stick and stay.
You're watching the Reb Zone Sports Show on Fox 5.
With finals out of the way, the UNLV football team can put their entire focus on their New Year's Day bowl game in Dallas against North Texas. The excitement is building, and so is the preparation. The Rebels aren't just looking for a trip to Texas. They want to leave with a win. UNLV is playing in a bowl game for the first time in 13 years and in a bowl game outside of Las Vegas for the first time since 1984. To top it off, it's on New Year's Day, the long-standing #1 day for college football, and at the Cotton Bowl, which is rich in tradition.
For UNLV to be participating on that day is just a huge deal for our program and I hope for our university.
It was pretty shocking and pretty exciting to be able to participate in one of these bowl games in a historic stadium in a venue that a lot of great games have taken place.
This program has come a long ways. Normally, December for players is spent hanging out with family and friends. Now it's getting ready to play one more game, a reward for the players and a big boost to recruiting.
At any program, it's not guaranteed that you're just going to go to a bowl, but hard work and dedication plays a part. And now I believe that it will help a lot because now there's proof. There's proof that faith through adversity will help. I mean, it stands for something.
It takes great character that these guys all have to believe something before you see it, and it's much easier, certainly when you see something, to believe it's going to happen. And, all of this stuff in terms of winning record and bowl games and things are tangible evidence we're making progress the right way.
The Rebels have 10 players on the roster from Texas, including defensive back Kenneth Penny, who is from the Dallas area and has already been flooded with ticket requests.
My mom like, yeah, well, your new cousin. So many new names and new faces just all of a sudden coming up now.
This week, the intense X's and O's preparation will take place for North Texas. The Mean Green is known for a high-powered offense and a solid defense, and already has the Rebels' attention.
Their defense is good, and we faced our share of good defenses throughout our regular season, so I think our offense will be up to the challenge and ready to try to get after them.
There is no better way for a college football team to ring in the new year than together, getting ready to play on January 1st.
I may not see these guys anymore after this year, and what better way to bring it in than with my new family that I got a chance to grow and mature with for 4 years.
The Rebels are already guaranteed a winning season, but they are determined to end on a 3-game winning streak.
It feels good to be 7-5 right now and looking for one more.
It's definitely a good thing to do in your senior year, and your last chance to do it to be able to finally get over that hump.
Tickets to the game and travel packages are available. Contact UNLV Athletics if you're interested. We're back to wrap this one up, but first we're going to take you to the scoreboard on other Mountain West teams from over the weekend.
You're watching the Reb Zone Sports Show on Fox 5.
The Running Rebels have 4 games in 6 nights here over the next week-long stretch. How important is it? They talk about the winning streak to get that going.
Well, it's terrific for us. We've had a lot of practice time, and one thing I've talked about with our group is needing more game experience, and we're certainly getting a lot of game experience here coming up very shortly. 4 games in 6 nights, and then another game before conference play starts on January the 1st.
All right, Wednesday and Friday night games at the Thomas and Mack tip-off set for 7 o'clock at both of those. Thanks for joining us inside the Reb Zone. We leave you with the Running Rebels Plays of the Week. Good night.